Welcome to the Rat Hole for another episode of The Whole Conversation. Today's guest, Michael Campbell of Guitarmory, and we're going to figure out what's up with all that stuff and what his life is like. What's going on, Michael?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Doing all right. And you say it's about 11 over there, your time?
Yeah, that's right.
And how'd you find yourself over there in Spain?
Well, I'm in the Navy. I've been in about 10 years now. And, every 3 years we change up duty stations. So moved to California, and then within 4 months I was in Spain.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I guess I'll start right off. What got you into music, and what made you pick hardware and pickups and stuff?
Got me into music was my dad, actually. He plays guitar, and he was always listening to, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, the classics. And, what got me into pickups was, guitars, for lack of a better term, they're all wood and strings. That's it. So that was a pretty easy thing for me to figure out, but there was a part that, was always changing, and that's the sound. The pickups, different setups, give you a different thing. So that's kind of where my interest, over time, started gravitating to.
Heck yeah. At what age do you think you started to really get in that gravitational pull towards the sound?
I want to say it was about 16. Because I remember it because I was listening to the song 10 Words by Joe Satriani. And there's so much going on with his tone there. I was like, what the hell is he doing? And I watched the video, and I kept noticing, he was flipping back and forth on the toggle. I was like, okay. I was like, so that right there just kind of made it click. Yep, the pickups are doing a lot more than just, taking up space on the guitar.
Yeah, for sure. What is your favorite tone? If you had to pick your favorite tone from pickups, who would you what band or artist would you say?
Oh God. Jesus. Let me think. If you could combine a Whitechapel tone from, let's say, the song I Dementia.
Yeah.
And mix that with For the Love of God by Steve Vai, that'd be it. Take those two tones, mix them together, and I'm good.
You know what? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are you really looking for when you're developing a product or putting something out?
Honestly, so especially with the changeover, we've been looking at what we got going right now, trying to hone in on specific characteristics. So a lot of people are wanting, a dry tone, clear, kind of following the whole, and I hate this word, so forgive me, the whole gent theme. Trying to find a common ground where people, they don't have to have one thing, they don't have to have another, they can have one to cover all the bases. So looking for something that meets all the wickets without, costing an arm and a leg.
Well, I guess that would probably be the goal of what most people will be doing. I think you guys have really captured that best of both worlds type of thing.
I appreciate it.
I know that we have a few guys that I believe have Fox bats, and
yeah.
I myself am shooting for. I think I'm going with Atlas when I go with my my setup.
Oh yeah.
But
those are amazing. That's an amazing set, actually.
Yeah, I think we started a GOC guitar run. I think we got in on the second run for the new headless guitars, and so I think all of us are going to jump on that and try and mix it up there. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Atlas.
Atlas, that'd be a damn good set. Yeah, the Atlas and the Fox bat. Actually, I was looking at the order form today from GOC, and those two sets are pretty much dominating the whole run right now.
Yeah.
So it's good to see the Atlas getting some love, because kind of losing it there for a minute due to the Fox bats, but I see them coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna give them a try. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Let me know what you think.
I definitely will, man. What would be your main target audience you're shooting for when you're thinking about what you're doing? Kind of the same concept, guys that can kind of get the whole spectrum.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone's tone's always changing. Like there for a while, like I'll use myself for an example. Like there for a minute, I just wanted like the thickest, nastiest tone I could find, and then over time, like my ears started changing. I was wanting more like clear, articulate, less thickness on the gain. Just I wanted to have an adaptable audience to an adaptable ear. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, once again, I think you're nailing it. I mean, definitely good things, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We're trying. This year so far has been crazy good. Just the amount of response we're getting on our pickups, like, oh, I love this set for this. This is like really humbling to see that.
Yeah, I could only imagine what it would be like. Like, from going to just a normal dude interested in the stuff to where you are now. Take me through that process.
Oh God. All right. So it was about 2016. I was really, really wanting to get into, start working for the music industry, because obviously at a point, the Navy uniform comes off, I retire, and music's always been a thing that I've really been interested in. So I was talking to my buddy Joe Canamessa, and he, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have started working for the Guitarmory.
Yeah.
So he made, and by November, took over. So that was like the fastest way possible I could give you that whole story.
Well, I mean, that seems like just a pretty steady climb. Like it was kind of meant to be, man. Like something you were passionate about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so growing up, my family has we have a business in Tennessee, and my granddad always stressed, take care of your customers and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah.
So, like when I started working for the Guitarmory, that was my thing. Like I was handling, customer service, the social media pages, all that, and getting that customer interaction. I felt like it really, really came like I want to take care of the customers beyond, just responding to a message.
Yeah.
So that's how I got where I am now.
That's a good way to be about it, man. That's how I try to be here with how we're doing things. I try to really make each interaction a personal experience instead of like a business transaction, or just I want people to know that they're not just a number to me. And
Exactly.
I'm doing this I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for love of the game, purely love of the game. Almost everything we do is free. And if someone has to pay for something, I make sure that I can help as much as possible to finance it.
Yep.
And I don't want people to have to worry about not being able to do something they're passionate about just because of a piece of paper. And I really try to push the pursuit of happiness for people, and I really try to push the pay it forward method within the family of our label. And I try to run everything as personal as possible with affiliates, the people on my label, and anybody that might be inquiring, anybody I have on the podcasts, anything like that. Just I like to really make each individual experience exactly that, an individual experience. You're not getting a cookie cutter experience from me.
Yeah, no, and I think that's where a lot of companies tend to fall short. At least from my personal experience, anyway. It's like you are just another number, and as soon as they send you that receipt, that's it. And for us, it's like I still talk to customers that I had a year ago. Like I still talk to them to this day. Like, hey, how's everything going? How are you liking the pickups? How's your music going?
That's great.
Just try to keep that constant communication, because at the end of the day, yeah, they buy from us, but it's that individual experience.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we have that in common, man.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest pickup request you've had?
I think the weirdest request I've had today is this person wanted 4 magnets and a bridge pickup, and he wanted wood bobbins, which is something we do, but they wanted them like I think it was Macassar ebony, flame maple, and Caduke. He wanted them like all glued together and then cut to make it kind of look like a jigsaw puzzle situation. That was probably the weirdest one, just because it was. To this date, it's the only request I've gotten for something like that. He wanted, I think it was 2 ceramics and 2 alnicos in one bridge. Like that, no, why would you do that? But I talked to him, and he ended up going, a different route, thankfully. But yeah, it's kind of the nature of the beast. Everyone wants their own unique sound, so err on the side of caution. And I kept stressing to this person. I was like, that's not going to sound good. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest one I've gotten.
What is what would you say is the coolest one you've got? Where you're like, oh hell yeah.
Coolest one I've gotten would be. Actually, the coolest one I've gotten would be from my buddy Joseph Cameron. He wanted just a standard, bobbin bridge, but he wanted it like battle scarred. So we nick cut those bobbins up pretty good, and like just looking at them, I'm like, that is just like the coolest thing I'd seen. I mean, it's so simple, cuts on a bobbin, but the way it looked into his guitar, it was amazing. And I think so far, the wood stuff we do is amazing. The metal covers we do look really, really good, but just that, cut up bobbin on it, to me, was the coolest one.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, when people pick up a set of pickups from you guys, what do you think that the people should be expecting for each one? Like, maybe pick like your top 4 favorite and give me a rundown from what they could expect from them.
So the top 4 favorite sets that we do. Number 1 for me personally is going to be the Orion. That was actually the first set I got that catapulted me, into wanting to work for the Guitarmory and so on and so forth. So, I think the Orion, the Atlas, just because it's an overall powerhouse, like the best one in the terms for me for like rock metal, especially for people who just want like the Alnico tone as opposed to like having the clarity and such from the ceramic. Fox bats, hands down our most versatile set. Everyone's loving those. It doesn't matter if you're playing metal, playing jazz, playing whatever, that box bat, like that's the jack of all trades set. And then the Voyager. The Voyager, to like the way I explain the Voyager, not full credit to the person I'm about to mention, but I reference Angel Vivaldi a lot when people ask me like how to best describe the Voyager. I was like, Angel Vivaldi's tone. Like, to me, that set really, really captures people who want Angel's tone but want to get our pickups. That's that set, hands down. And yeah, that's a Orion, Foxbat, Atlas, and Voyager. Yep, those 4. In terms of, I guess, the ordering process, like when people get them, like my main thing is to make sure they get the same customer service experience they get. I want them to have that product experience. When they open the box, I want them to see it and be like, wow, this is absolutely worth it. This is what I was wanting and needing. Because, I mean, you pay for something, you deserve that kind of respect. You shouldn't just be like, hey, here's my money. Okay, thanks, bye. It should not be like that.
Yeah. Definitely want to provide a quality product instead of just a quantity.
Exactly. And that's my goal with the company, is making sure, our customers get a quality product. And if for whatever reason they don't, they hit me up, and I definitely look into it, make sure whatever error happened is corrected like right there on the spot, and it never happens again.
Yeah. Nip it in the
That's
bud real
one thing
quick.
I'm really big on. Yep, that's one thing I'm big on. Like, I don't want my customers unhappy.
Yeah. And usually the ones that are unhappy are the ones with the biggest mouths. That's just usually your luck.
Yeah, and I'm in a few Facebook groups, and a few of my friends are, and from the old days before I was even involved with the company, um, the original owner had some issues, and people still talk about that to this day. Um, then I get tagged in them, or someone like, hey, shoot Michael a message, he'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And they do, and I take care of it. I mean, I don't care really. I like, as long as it's not so much about brand protection for me. It's about, hey, let me make that right to you because you didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So just trying to look out for the customers, man. That's my job.
That's really good to hear, man. Glad to know that there's some people still running business like that out there.
Yeah, my granddad would whoop my tail.
I know that feeling. What would you have to say is your favorite mainstream guitar builder?
Ooh, favorite mainstream guitar builder would have to be Ibanez, just because that's the first guitar I ever got was an old Ibanez Geo, $150 thing, but that's like been the constant in my collection so far is Ibanez.
Yeah. What about the boutique builders?
Man, there's so many of them out there. Yeah, like I'm at the name a couple, or a few actually. And this is not in any particular order, just as they come to mind. Equilibrium guitars, LSL Instruments, Black Cat, Denison guitars out of the UK, definitely. And Roars guitars, for sure.
Yeah.
Those four right now. Yep. Like, I mean, like, that's not to, throw any, not saying I don't like any other builders, but just those four, like, right now, like, from what I've seen, are, like, killing the game.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
What did you say is your favorite guitar you've owned?
Oh, God. My favorite guitar I own would probably be old Ibanez J Custom I had. It was a one I bought in Japan when I was stationed there. And I bought it for like some ridiculously low price. That was my favorite one. It was a RG 8570 M. And I reached out to Ibanez, and that one was pretty rare because it was like the first one they did, the only one they did that year with bird's eye maple fretboard and the jumbo offset dots. It was like a stupid rare guitar that I was an idiot and sold, but yeah, gotta love it. I wanted another guitar, so it had to go.
Yeah, I've been there, and then I kicked myself later.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself. I know the guy who owns it, and he knows I want it back, so yeah.
Maybe. I do a lot of buying from my friends just so they don't lose it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the neighborhood pawn shop when it comes to that stuff, that somebody needs to get rid of something and they bring it to me. That way they know they can get it back.
Yeah. Actually, I got two of my buddies still own two guitars that I sold them. They're like, hey, whenever you want to buy them back, just let me know. So it's good to it's good that people do that. So
yeah. What would you say if you had to pick one person you would like to see using your pickups? Who would it be?
God, I have to pick one. Let me think here. Damn. Crazy, like just to pick up one.
We'll narrow it down to the smallest group you can.
Okay. I would definitely like to see the Architects group. Them, definitely. There for as long as I wanted Devin Shadecker from the Cajun Strain on playing them, and he is now, so that was awesome. I want to be, just give you the typical answer, like everybody.
Yeah.
But like a personal favorite, like person that I would love to see playing our pickups would honestly be James Hetfield, just because like that's my dad's favorite guitar player.
Yeah.
So if that could happen, man, I would. I don't know what I'd do. Probably pass out. But yeah, definitely.
Do you ever find yourself being in like semi starstruck moments with things like that?
Occasionally, like I'll get a message from somebody and I'll be like, holy sh, this person just messaged me. It ain't the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I think it happened more when I was at NAMM for the first time. And I'm sitting there like running the booth, talking to people about our pickups, and I'm like, oh, and I would just stop and be like, okay, there goes, Justin, it's no big deal. But y'all gonna act like that didn't just happen.
Yeah.
But, no, it's kind of, it doesn't happen so much anymore, but occasionally it does happen. Because at the end of the day, everyone's like, we're all people, we put our, clothes on the same way, so.
Yeah. And that's the experience I've had with a lot of the guys that I've shared the stage with, because I've been fortunate enough to share the stage with a lot of people that I've listened to, like some of my favorite bands. And, now I talk to them just on a normal day-to-day basis about real life shit and nothing about music and stuff. And it's kind of weird to think 10 years ago, I was just headbanging to your music in my garage, And then and now I get a message from you. It's the same thing like what you said, like, oh shit, the person messaged me. I didn't message them, and like they send me a message just saying, hey, what's up, man? How you been? Ain't heard from you in a while, and that's pretty cool. And that's a big thing for me, like with the music industry, is there tends to be a lot of like long-lasting relationships built from just running into people and having contact with people within the music community, because I feel like it's more of a tight-knit community because it's based more on it's based on more expression and things like that. So it's not something that people can say I'm better than you. It's all, everybody is, I feel like everybody's for the most part on the same playing field, and we're on the same team for it. But you got those guys that create it like Battle of the Bands or things like that, and there obviously are people that are more technically skilled than others, but you can't really put a good or worst on music.
No, you can't. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to make a living. So it's good. I think it's really, really good. Bands like actually work together as opposed to my album's better than yours. Like, nah.
Yeah. That's what we're doing here with the Shed Rat stuff. Is I want to be given nothing but positivity, a lot of creative criticism for people and a lot of positivity. I don't want anybody throwing out negative stuff. I don't want any competition, where it's a battle of the bands all the time. And it's very, very uplifting for everybody that's a part of it, because they're not used to experiencing a community like that either, because they're used to being in that dog eat dog circuit, to where they've got to make it to a certain level so they can be okay. And then and it's not like that with us. We've got guys that have 80 people on their Facebook page, and we've got guys that have like 5,000 people on their Facebook page. I mean, everybody treats everybody the same, and it's making all of us better as a whole and as individuals because of the way we're running it like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think doing it that way is actually like beneficial, not just at the time, for the time being, but long term, because you're actually building, like you said, a relationship with people. Is that a surprise guest speaker?
No, my dog just gets excited when she hears bumps.
Oh, fair enough.
I tried to shut her out of here before I started, and she just whined outside the door, so I figured it'd be easier just to let her lay in here.
Nice. But yeah, doing it the way you're doing it, I think personally it's an absolutely amazing way to do it, because like I said, you're building relationships.
Yeah, and that's what it's just a big network of people that can help people out. And the bigger we grow, the bigger the network, the more help. There's more things that are going to be going on, and it just goes around. We have enough people in the family now that if you need somebody to, mix and master your instrumentals or your guitar or just your drums or something, there's somebody specifically in the family who we all understand is the best at it. or we like the way they do it the best, so we use them the most for it, and we're starting to develop a really uniform sound and look coming out of the label from that too, and it's starting to be something that we're really excited about, because we started doing this in August, and I woke up one morning and my inbox was just full, and I was like, oh shit, now I've got to figure out how to do this, and it was a sink or swim thing, and I think it was the good thing. I tend to do better in those situations, and I think we're swimming all right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely doing good, for sure.
You doing okay on time over there?
Yeah, man.
All right, I don't want to keep you from anything.
Nah, I mean, you're perfectly fine. I've, penciled out some time just for this, so don't worry. Take all the time you want.
Well, I appreciate it, man. So what's it like being enlisted and owning a business?
It's good, but it also has its challenges. Luckily, I have a really, really awesome team working with me on this. I don't like saying work for me. I prefer to say work with me, because we're all doing it together. So on the stuff I can't really necessarily handle right now, they're stepping up. Joe, Daryl, Chris, James, they're all knuckling down and really, really helping me out. So, like I said, it has its challenges, but at the end of the day, it has its benefit, because I can really sit back and watch the guys kind of take things by the reins, like take that and run, take whatever they're doing and run with it, and see them grow with it.
Yeah.
And know at the end of the day, this happened because of what Joe did or what Daryl did. Or,
yeah.
Seeing the success come from the effort.
Yeah. I think that's the thing I like most about what we're doing here too, is we can really watch each other grow, and being able to know that if I step away, that Domo or Rob or Wojo, somebody is going to pick up what I'm doing. I don't have to worry about it. And that's something that I really appreciate with what we've built, because I've always been a guy that I've always had to handle everything by myself. I couldn't really rely on a whole lot of people. If I did, it would just end up me rushing around last minute to try and fix it, and or going back trying to fix things that have already went wrong. And it's a really big weight off my shoulders to know that I can just get on there and put up in the group chat, hey, this is what I've been thinking about, and by the end of the day, I've got 4 different people ready to present some ideas and things up there, and it's great to have people that want to be involved and show the effort, because that's how we operate. If you put out the effort for everyone else, we put out the effort for you, and so we run it so where there really can't be a weak link in the chain. Everybody has to keep it circling around, or else it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's the way we do it. Actually, we have a group chat, and if I have an idea, I'll just throw it in there. I'm like, hey, what do y'all think about this? And Joe and Daryl, they're really quick. They're like, no, that's dumb. What are you thinking? Stop.
Yeah, yeah. I've got those guys from me too.
100% honest.
Yeah, I've got. Normally, when it comes to those guys, I've got Brandon from Disappearance. He usually is the first one to speak up against what I say, not necessarily because he doesn't agree, but because he's playing the devil's advocate. And it's always good to have him there to be like, hey, look at it from this point, or what that sounds good, but do you think it could affect us negatively here? And he's really good at breaking that down, and he's said many times that he's management by trade. He went to school for it, and he really gets some good ideas out there, and we talk a lot of things out. And then I've got a couple other guys that are they're really, really techie, and they soak up all the gear and everything that comes out. So when I say something, they go, no, stopping you right there. It's good to have those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's overall better just in the long run, because you really, really get to the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's important to maintain that open and honest communication. Not have and let people be comfortable to be open and honest. That's the main thing that I focus on, is to make sure that everybody can say whatever they want at any point in time for anything, and I don't want anybody to ever hesitate if they need help with anything or, you know what, anything at all. I want it to be completely open and comfortable. That way we get the most out of everything we do.
Yep. And that was one thing I really stressed to Joe and Daryl back when I was first told them, like, hey, you know, things, you know, discussions between me and Nick are getting pretty in depth. So in the event I do take over as owner of the Guitarmory, I still want y'all to like call me out, like be 100% straightforward with me. Don't just let me know.
Yeah.
And they do it. They don't care, and I love it.
Yeah, that's that. I always get a little leery sometimes when I have people that, because I'm the same as you. I don't say I have people working for me. I have people that work with me.
Yep.
And I get a little leery sometimes that they're afraid to speak up because they see me as the boss, you know, and that then at the same time, I also have those people that still see me as just the bro. So I've got to find that balance when it's time to get stuff done of being the bro boss. And it's difficult sometimes because some people don't respond well to me acting like their boss. And then some people don't respond well to me being too friendly about it because it makes, you know, they're like, no, but it's your stuff, man. Like I want this to be good for you. And like, no, this is our stuff, man. Like I want it to be good for us.
Yep. And you know what, like working, you know, with having Joe and Daryl, like their stuff, like, yeah, even though like I'm the owner of the company, their stuff I don't really mess with because, like, a perfect example, artist relations stuff, that's 100% Joe. I told him, I'm like, look, I'm not going to get into your Kool-Aid. That's all you. If you like have a question, let me know, but I'm not going to step on your toes. You got it. I trust you.
Yeah.
So like given them the, I think, independent trust just makes things work a lot smoother.
Yeah. And we have stuff like that going on too, where we've found people that have kind of we funneled into the direction of things that they're better with, and we're still looking like I wear so many hats because it's still so new. Like I work like 20-hour days, and I'm the guy scouting bands. I'm the guy trying to rig up stuff for like talk out deals for sponsorships or endorsements or, you know, just outreach of any kind, plus all of the fan outreach and the customer outreach and everything. Like I doing a lot of that stuff, plus I have 4 bands of my own and the studio here, the podcast and everything. Like there's a lot going on, and it's nice now. Yeah, it's nice now to be able to sit back and know that some other guys have got it. You know, after the first couple months and Silura really dove in head first, Domo, he really took over a lot of stuff. Him and Josh both, a lot of administrative stuff and scheduling and stuff for releases and things and how we were going to go about it. And it was great that they jumped in and were so willing to do it. And I just, after a couple months, I trusted them so much with it. I was just like, you know what, Domo, you're running Shed Rat South. You know, like, well, we've got so much activity going on so quick, I can't handle it all here. We'll split everything, you know, south of Kentucky. You've got everything, you know, south of Kentucky. I've got everything north of Kentucky.
There you go.
Because I'm in Palestine, Illinois. I'm in southern Illinois on the Indiana-Illinois border. I'm probably about an hour and a half away from the Kentucky border, too.
Man. Okay, so yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, I'm on the Wabash.
Okay.
But yeah, that's so I try to handle everything up here, and up here tends to be more live stuff and people playing shows and things, and the down south stuff tends to be more recording and studio stuff and mixing and mastering, but we're really starting to get it hammered out, I think, and things are going really comfortable for us, and we run everything pretty maxed but relaxed. Like I don't want any pressure on anybody. I don't want them to feel like, you know, there's deadlines for things. We just kind of have a loose outline of what we're doing, and it seems to be a good flow of work for us.
Yep. And we're kind of doing the same thing. You know, we have our business plan, obviously, but we just like have these things. You know, like we got a few things going right now, but there's no really set deadline on them. Like we know when the moment's right for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like we know, like, okay, like, all right, we just finished up this run. Let's wait for it. All right, let's do this next one. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
So I think keeping like having it that way, like you said, max but lax, max but relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that actually really pays off because you don't work yourself down to the bone, but at the same time you're getting stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you might even mess up and have a good time while you're doing it.
Yeah. Let's hope it ain't too big of a mess up.
No, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to see coming from the Guitarmory this year?
Oh Lord. This year we're looking at. Well, I don't know if I'm pretty sure Donald told you. Back in the early days of the Guitarmory, there was the owner. He made some guitars. He made a total of, I think, 10 D series guitars, and they were labeled as Guitarmory guitars. So we're looking at maybe bringing those back. No real full details on them yet. It's just something we're tossing around. We've had a couple prototypes commissioned that we're going to look at and see what we think. Like, is it worth it? Is it not? So I'm not saying the Guitarmory is going to get into the actual guitar business, but I'm definitely not ruling it out.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just keeping a steady growth. I don't want to push the company to take on more than it can handle right now. So, especially with it being the first year, a new first year for us. Really want to take things slow and steady.
Yeah.
So we got a couple new models coming out soon. Some single coil stuff is happening, which I know a lot of people are excited about. So it's just slow and steady growth.
I got a telly I might want to grab some of that single coil action for.
Hit me up, man. I'll take care of you. Got you.
Well, man, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to tell the people while I got you here?
Yeah, check out our site. Check out all the amazing artists we got going on. Check out our YouTube channel. Make sure to check out Salura. Check out, obviously what you got going on, and just stay focused on us because we're not stopping and we're not going anywhere.
Hell yeah, man, that sounds great. Well, I really appreciate you having time to stop by today and let us know what's going on in your world. I think that was a really good chat, man.
Definitely. Hit me up anytime, brother.
Well, I'd like to have you on again after we all get our hands on some of these pickups and stuff, and maybe we can have a conversation about what we all think about them and stuff.
Definitely. Just, just shoot me a message on what y'all need. I'll take care of y'all.
All right, man. I'll get some stuff together, and we'll get that sent to you.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Yep, you too.
Bye.